Hello, I am Melinda Liu. I'm an LMT success coach, and today we are interviewing Brittany Davis, who's also a licensed massage therapist in Las Vegas. Brittany just finished her LMT Accelerator Program, and she had really an incredible journey through that program, going from $2,500 a month to $10,000 a month, and that is quite an impressive feat. So impressive that I really wanted to pull the curtain behind, what happened in this program? How did this happen? We want to hear your story, and we want to inspire others. There's a lot of massage therapists, like we all start out of school. We have these big visions and these dreams of opening our own practice. Maybe we're not confident enough to do that right out of school. So we work for places first and we get experience and we develop our hands and our techniques. And then at some point we launch into a practice. And for some therapists that goes well, and for some therapists that doesn't go very well in the beginning. And some therapists never really quite get to those like peak earning years, that I call them, where you're like earning your peak, really, what your potential could be in your practice. And I know that for some therapists that have been trying to get there, it can be frustrating, it can be challenging, and I know that was possibly part of your journey, and perhaps why you decided to sign up for the program. So let's start with Brittany's like before the program story. If you want to just give us a little background on how long have you been a therapist, where were you working when you first became a massage therapist, how long did you work in a place, and then when did you start your practice, and then what led you to signing up for the program ultimately?
Yes. So I've been a massage therapist for 4 years now. When I was out of school, I was doing massage part time. I was still in HR and I was kind of scared to take that leap into knowing exactly what my income's going to be, going to having no idea what I was going to be making. Um, and I was doing outcall. And then I finally left my HR job, went to working for a spa. I worked at the spa for a few months, and then I started working for someone in Vegas that does lymphatic drainage. I worked for her for a year, left, went back to spa because I didn't really like the company that I was with. And last year, January, I decided that I was going to start my own business and found a place to rent, was working at the spa part time and working at my business part time. And I realized I was losing a lot of money teetering between the two, and I needed to put my focus on my business. So then I went into my business full time, I want to say in April. And when did I sign up with you? Was it in September?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So from April to September, I was kind of just fumbling around trying to figure. I had no idea what I was doing. I never thought I'd be a business owner. I never wanted to be a business owner. Um, so I was kind of just going through the motions, stumbling. I felt really lost. I didn't have any direction. And then I had been following your page for a little while, and I did the LMT Success,
Review.
yeah,
Hmm.
review. And after you and I talked, I decided to sign up, and it has been the best thing that I could have ever done. I know you and I had said it that I would have gotten to where I am now, whether or not I signed up with you, but it would have taken much longer. And so this definitely accelerated my success.
Yes, that's why it's called the accelerator.
Yes.
So, okay, so you were earning before the program on average 2,500 to 3,000 a month, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then we started together in September, and the goal was 8 to 10,000. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember you said to me, "I want to make 10,000," and I was like, "Okay, well, let's go for 8, and
Yeah.
let's see if we can get there because 2,500 to 10 is a pretty huge jump.
Yeah.
And I want to sometimes like be realistic with goals because we don't want to feel defeated, right? So I try to, at first, when I'm getting to know a massage therapist, like let's set some conservative goals that are reachable and we can shoot for the stars. So in my mind, I was like, I have to at least get Brittany to 8,000 and get her there. And then let's see, if we get there soon, then we can keep going. But what happened when we first started the program was we kind of realized that your client demographic over the summer was all of a sudden not a fall clientele, were they?
Yep.
And so that was like a shock to the system when at least the clients that we thought you were like as your foundational regulars were not regular anymore. It's like a seasonal business. Brittany's
Yeah.
in Vegas, and so there were a lot of these girls that work by the pools all summer coming in for a ton of lymphatic drainage. And then they just sort of dropped off the face of the earth when we started the program.
Yeah,
And I was like,
basically.
we just had to pivot quickly, lymphatic drainage was like your main thing that you were focusing on, and that was your niche. And so we were like, okay, we got to get new clients to replace these people. And you were so coachable. Like we tried all the things. It was improving your search engine optimization, right? So we did
Yes.
a lot of work to your Google business listing and your website. And one thing I do remember about you is that you're fairly tech savvy
Yeah.
from your work in corporate before.
Yeah. Yep.
So when I tell Brittany, an organic way to improve your search engine optimization is to start a blog on your website. And then like next week, Brittany had a blog. Just let ChatGPT write them, squeeze in all the keywords you can. So
Yep.
we did some good search engine optimization work that wasn't an immediate, um, quick leading to bookings, though, was it? That
No.
ended up kind of being a little more of a long game that showed itself to be great later in the program.
Yeah. Yep.
But early on, we were really just trying to get some of your older clients to come back in, right? It's like sending emails for the first time and reaching out to old clients and getting them to come back in. We did try some networking, like getting practitioners going. Tell us
Yeah.
about that. What was that? Was that scary
That's
for you? Was at first, were you nervous about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Even this is like terrifying to me, but I'm doing it because I need to get myself out of my comfort zone. But yeah, that was really difficult. Even like cold calling people going into the offices or their building, their place of business, that was terrifying. But after the first rejection, I was like, this isn't bad. Like, I can do this. I can keep doing this. And then I got a couple, I want to say three other professionals in the wellness industry. They took my information, my cards, my brochures, and we refer back and forth. So it did work out. I have three people that I can either refer clients to, or they're referring clients to me as well. But it was
Yeah,
definitely scary at first.
I felt like that was more of a personal growth exercise, right? Just
Yeah,
it's like just to walk in somewhere and talk about what you do and invite people to your business. So it's like whether clients even came from that or not, it was still a personal growth exercise, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
That,
I'm
that,
super
that,
glad because it definitely it helped to bring me out of my shell more.
yeah, because then later in the program, you would just talk to anybody on the street at your, son's jujitsu class. Just it's
Yeah.
so comfortable for you to just talk about what you do with whoever, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I actually got a client from when I was taking my dog to the vet. I have a client. I see her twice a week. Hers is lymphedema, but I just talked to her outside in public, and I got a client that I probably will have until she leaves.
Yeah, it's like we were trying to what I try and do with each client is understand your niche, your culture, and the demographic that you're in because not everything works for everybody. So, we didn't get a lot of practitioner referrals, um,
Hmm.
but we wanted to make you like more searchable online because Las Vegas has a lot of lymphatic drainage therapists, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we also wanted to have you stand out from the crowd. And so I remember asking you, do your lymphatic drainage clients come in for therapeutic also? Like, do they know that you do regular therapeutic massage as well? Or are you just the lymph girl? And so we decided we needed to like have the best of both worlds. How can we get them like a sample of therapeutic? Should we just have like a 30-minute add-on where they can get some therapeutic work in addition to their lymphatic work? Tell us how that's been going or like how that evolved.
Yeah. So that's going really good. That's everyone's favorite. I get I get a lot of 60-minute sessions just doing lymphatic, but I would say the other biggest portion is my 90-minute session, which is an hour lymphatic, 30 minutes therapeutic. And I do get some people that say it's not long enough. So obviously I have the 2 hour and the 2.5 hour session as well. But it's going super well. And then also starting it on Groupon was
Mhm.
amazing. I've gotten almost 30 people from Groupon.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I know for myself, Groupon, I've seen in this industry, it's just been villainized. Like everybody thinks Groupon is the worst thing to ever happen to massage. It cheapens what we do. It's only for deal shoppers. And so we've heard all these horror stories, and I never really encouraged it either, only because we saw therapists get so worn down, like they would have these crazy low prices and then they would get dependent on it. They never
Hmm.
developed their own way of marketing, and also they weren't good at sales and trying
Yeah.
to convert people to a regular paying client. And so then we saw these therapists out there who could not survive without Groupon because they just didn't develop the skills needed to properly transition the Groupon clients into a regular paying client. And so I remember asking you, had you tried Groupon? And you said, yes, I did it for like a couple weeks. And I'm like, what happened with that first Groupon? Tell them who you got from that first Groupon.
Yeah. So that first Groupon, my prices were lower. So I was making not enough to make me happy. But I was getting people that were shopping deals that they wanted the cheapest session. I did get one client from that original Groupon that I see her every single week, and I've been seeing her every single week since I want to say August of last year. So, and she buys a package every time that it's up. She buys a package every single time. So it has been really profitable. Even if you get one person and they stay with you forever, it's 1,000 times worth it.
Yes. And so then we did raise your rates. Let's talk about that. Um,
Yeah.
you're not the most expensive person in Vegas, right?
No.
But
Yeah.
you're
No, definitely not.
not the cheapest either, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like probably a little above average, would you say?
Yeah.
Kind of in between average and the highest, somewhere in there, which is a really nice price point to have room for discounting packages and for going on Groupon.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do Groupon high end, how do we do Groupon high end? And so we had the strategy that made it feel good to you and would attract a client that it wouldn't be so far of a stretch for them to pay full price after their Groupon.
Yeah.
So several of them have now transitioned to full paying, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and I also was offering, or I still offer it, a package of 3 sessions for discounted. So it kind of like transitions them into paying the full price. Um, and what I like about Groupon is for me, I did the lowest possible discount, and people are okay with paying that. So I'm still making a comfortable amount for the time that I'm spending with them. And then most of those clients are turning into regulars.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Vegas is like, Groupon is different in different parts of the country. So I've noticed in the Mountain West it's not very active, but in Vegas it's very active. And
Super.
we started to realize that these Groupon people coming in, it was actually a really nice way for them to try different therapists, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like they were deal shoppers. They were actually looking for a therapist to try because there's so
Yes.
many therapists in Vegas,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So some of these were like really serious clients looking for their therapist. But it is kind of expensive if you're gonna just go down Google and try like 10 different people and pay full price. On the client side of it, it's kind of nice to go on Groupon and like try someone before you commit to paying full price with them.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Tell us some other things that you felt like you really got out of the program.
So much, so much. You had a lot of focus. Like meeting with you every single week helped keep me accountable. Um, and like you were always checking in, making sure that I'm taking care of me, which I absolutely love because it was a reminder. Like, yes, I have to take care of myself if I want my business to grow. Because burnout, you're not going to last long if you burn out. Um, you helped clean up my Instagram. A really big thing is Google because I wasn't getting found on Google. And then adding the SEOs, it wasn't immediate, but I don't know how long it took, but now majority of my clients are coming either from Instagram or from Google, but mostly from Google now. So that was really, really big. And then just structuring my services a lot better, changing some of the services based off of what people are actually getting. And um, you just, even when because it wasn't just like an uphill thing with my income, like I had months where it was
Yes,
lower.
let's
Yeah.
talk about that. Actually, do you
Yeah.
mind sharing the actual numbers because there were some months in there that really weren't
Weren't high.
like
Yeah.
we didn't reach the goals. And I just really appreciate that Brittany didn't really get discouraged by that. It actually encouraged her more the next
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. It's like, no, I'm gonna get this goal. I'm on my phone, so I don't have the Excel spreadsheet, but I know there was one month where I made 6,000 and then the next month I made like 4,500 and it was super devastating, but for me, it's just like, okay, I didn't make it this month, but there's still next month and I'm going to make it next month. And then it was like a climb rather than letting me not meeting the goal and being like way below what that month's goal was. I didn't let it bring me down, which I think is super huge because even not in this program, we're going to have months where it's not as busy and lucrative as it was the month before. And I'll never let something like that let me down. It's just going to drive me to go harder the next month.
Yes, I so appreciate that you just came back harder the next month. And because it's just 1 month, and a lot of this is a long game. It's stamina, it's endurance. When therapists say I want to make six figures, and almost everybody writes that on their review, I want to make six figures is consistently every month making a little over $8,000 a month. And just, yes, consistency and stamina and endurance and not being discouraged easily.
Yes.
You're not going to make it long if you like fold up like a wet napkin and lay down. That's just not how it works in business. You
Yeah.
have to every single day, every single session, really give it 1000% if you want to be building any kind of momentum. So I just was so impressed. And during those lower months, it was the holidays. You did
Yeah.
the program during the holiday season.
Yeah. That's
You
true. And then I
didn't
was sick in December, so I had to take a week off.
right. You were still building your clientele. You didn't have a big email list when we
It was
first
tiny. It was less than
started.
20
So
people.
small. So it's
Yeah.
not you were sending emails to get a bunch of gift certificate sales. Therapists who have 200, 300, 500 plus can really kind of get through the holidays on like a ton of gift certificate sales, but you didn't have that.
Yeah.
This year, you will, but last year we just sort of had to get through the holidays, and then January was like your first big bump, right? And
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So January, I think December, even being sick for a week in December, um, I think my number was 7 or 7,500. And then January, February was 8,000. And then March was 10,000.
tell
And
me
I'm
if
on track for 10,000 this month too. So
yes, yes. Okay, so wait, this is so funny to me. Tell me about we didn't really know you made 8,000
yeah.
1 month. Why?
Yeah. So I'm great with Excel, but sometimes I'm not the smartest. So I had added a couple lines at the bottom, and I didn't have it in the sum part for the numbers. And when I was going back to make sure all the numbers were right, I realized um, I had put numbers in one of the cells that wasn't in the sum. I don't know what it's called, but I fixed it, and then I realized, oh, I made over 8,000 this month. So I thought I didn't make it, but I actually had made the goal for January.
Right. So keeping track of your numbers was a big, big deal, this whole entire program.
Yeah.
Just even like $100 would throw the whole
Literally.
thing off because you thought you were like
Literally.
150 off, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
I was
it's like
literally one session off.
you recalculated, it's like you actually did it.
Yep.
So yeah, crunching the numbers and keeping track was such a big deal. And then February was also pretty high, right? And
Yeah.
then March was the big 10K.
10K.
So tell us
Yes.
what that's like. Are you like cranking out 5 million sessions a week? Do you have like no life? Are you like totally exhausted? Are your hands gonna break off? How do you feel
No.
with
No,
10,000?
no, no. I feel freaking amazing. So I get weekly massages. That's something I'm not going to that's just part of my self-care. I'm always going to do that. So that keeps me going, but I the most clients that I see is 14 a week. I could do 20, but I don't need to. 14 is enough. Um, I'm energetic. I take at least 2 days off. Sometimes I'll take 3 days off a week, and I have time to do everything. I work from 10 to 4 every day. Yeah, I'm not just always at work, and I'm good.
Can you tell us a little bit about your personal life? Like why did you need to make 8 to 10,000? Why did you feel like
Yes.
you needed to make that?
Yeah. So I'm a single mom. My son's dad passed away when he was a baby, so he was never in the picture. So being able to be fully sufficient to take care of myself and my child is why I do everything that I do. Like I have to make that. There, I have no choice but to be successful.
That is a huge why.
Yeah.
'Cause no one else is paying the bills, are they?
No, no, it's just me.
No one's, feeding mouths and keeping a roof over the head but you.
Yep.
Um, so that right there is such a big deal because I think a lot of people want to make high numbers and they don't attach it to like a really strong reason. It, like you have a really strong reason. And that must just feel like such a relief to you. I can't imagine how stressful it was when you were at 2,500 a month.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I was like, how am I going to do this? I can't do this. It was scary. Before I started working with you, I was anxious financially all of the time. And now I don't have I don't stress about money at all. And it's like this huge weight is off my shoulders.
That is incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
how many people can say that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's really impressive. I don't want to reveal too many details, but were there a couple moments where like you were going through some major personal things and it was
Yeah.
like life kind of lifed on you?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
so I was having relationship drama, and I was just devastated, and I wanted to just crawl under my blanket and cry and just never come out. But also having you hold me accountable every single week, I was like, I can't let her down. I can't let myself down. I can't let my kid down. Like, I have to keep going. Um, and I can't just sit in this sadness. I have to keep on going.
Mhm. Yep. And then you had some issue with your son at one point that was like tumultuous and difficult.
Yes. Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like you didn't have, challenges that like everyone has personal challenges. Life
Yeah.
is not super easy for everybody and not for you either.
Yeah.
But you didn't give up. You like stayed focused on the goal and that see, this is where I just really appreciate all of that tenacity that you and commitment to the goal. It's like we did it together. I did my part, you did your part, and it really worked out well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so curious how do you feel moving forward after this program? Do you feel like you're gonna be able to keep growing? Like, what's your feeling?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a little scary because I don't have you to like lean on. I know I can still text you and call you, but I don't have like those weekly check-ins. But I have all of the tools that I need to continue climbing up. There's no reason for me not to be able to continue making 10,000 every single month. I've got the tool. I know what to do. And I like that it wasn't a super fast program. Technically, yeah, it was fast, but like it was a steady uphill climb. Instead of like being rushed and not knowing what I'm doing and everything's like confuzzled in my brain. Yeah, I feel really good. Really, really good.
Okay, I have a couple more questions for you. Do you think that you could have reached these goals in like just a couple coaching calls?
Absolutely not.
Okay, right?
Absolutely not. No, because it was a learning curve for both of us trying to figure out like all the things that seeing how it works for me because I know it's not same with like Groupon. It's not going to work everywhere. So it was trial and error throughout the whole thing. So there's absolutely no way, not even I don't think in a month or 2 months that would have been realistic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. When it came to paying for coaching, that is not something that a lot of massage therapists do because most therapists will pay for massage school, obviously,
Yeah.
and they pay for CEs and equipment, and that is usually it. So
Yeah.
you are like one of the super duper ambitious massage therapists that actually invested in your success. Was that scary though? Were you nervous about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was like, what if I don't make the unknown terrifies me. So it's like, what if I don't make the amount and I can't pay her? Um, what if I fail? Like that's like the whole thing was scary, but it lit a fire under me.
Right, because you were literally invested in your success, and
Yep.
so it wasn't like you could just sit back and not do anything.
Yeah. Like you have to be active.
Right. Um, do you feel like you got your investment worth?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's I would not be. I know I could have done it on my own, but it would have taken me so much longer. I would not be where I'm at without you.
I agree that you do have that character trait for like getting through challenges, and it would have. I don't know. I mean, who can tell like how much longer it would have been for you? But I know that us working together, it's like group hive mind. Like together, we can come together and come up with new ideas and
Yeah.
pivot quickly if something's not working.
Yep.
Um, so it does accelerate,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of things that I have seen over the years that have are tried and true that work. And then it just takes a little bit of time to know what's going to work for Brittany in Las Vegas doing lymphatic drainage.
Yep.
That's where we kind of need that 6 months to get that fine tune adjustment that's like right for you.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you had to do it all over again, would you still do the LMT Accelerator program?
Yeah, I wish I found you sooner. Because it was I was just struggling for it wasn't really that long, but 9 months I was struggling. Yeah, that's a long time. I was struggling for like 9 months before I signed up with you. Um, so I wish that I would have signed up sooner.
Right. I know that we think like I'm just going to do this and I'm excited and we just think I'm going to do it by myself. I'm just going to do it by
Yeah.
myself. And then a month goes by and then another month goes by and it's like it's not happening as fast as I want it to be happening. So okay, I'm so glad that you got to share your story. I want to go into comments. I know that some people had a couple questions. And by the way, if you're watching, if you do have any other questions about Brittany's story or her practice or the program, please throw it into the chat. So someone says for 14 sessions a week, how long are these sessions on average?
It's a mixture of an hour and 90 minutes. I do have sprinkles of 2 hour, 2.5 hours. But it's usually an hour or 90 minutes.
Yes. People like those longer sessions.
They
I love longer
do.
sessions.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I love 2 hour chef's kiss.
Where did you get your lymphatic training?
So I'm a certified lymphedema therapist. I got that specific training through ACOLS, Academy of Lymphatics something. It's ACOLS. And then I got my general lymphatic drainage training, which is just the Vater lymphatic. That was through, I think it's, I want to say LMT Success. And
Okay.
then I did some Brazilian training. I'm not going to recommend because that was horrible. But yeah, so and if you're going to do lymphatic, I highly suggest doing ACOLS because they are very, very, very thorough.
Okay. Yeah, you did a really long program. How many hours was that?
It was 135 hours.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I can work with lymphedema clients, lipedema clients. I have clients that have gone through cancer treatment. Um, so it's I'm super glad that I did it because it taught me so much more than I already knew about the lymphatic system, and it just amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big supporter of when you become a therapist, you need to invest in your craft. Like you
Yeah,
need to have techniques, you need to go into session doing something. So obviously investing in your technique training is really important and
yeah,
learning as much as you can and being up to speed. And then when you're in practice, investing in actually being successful with your techniques is a whole other thing.
yeah, truly.
Yeah, because just because you have 135 hours in this specialized training doesn't mean you open the doors to a business and now all the money just starts pouring in, right?
Yeah, yeah, because it didn't.
No, it doesn't. That's right. Darn, why doesn't it?
Yeah, what the heck?
So then that's where like having investment in like getting your numbers up, getting people to come in and, receive all of these wonderful techniques that you've been trained in. And the basics of marketing and sales. Like, do you feel confident now that you know how to market your business, you know how to get new clients, and you know how to keep clients and retain them and sell your work? Do you feel more confident doing those things?
Absolutely. Yeah, because even like having them buy packages, I offer a package to almost everybody. And before I was not doing that. And through this program, I have so much more confidence that when I know that they're going to benefit from it, or I know that they're going to keep coming back and being consistent, then I'm like, hey, here's a package. This is what you should do. And most of the time they buy it.
Yes. Some therapists also don't like selling packages because they feel like they don't want to discount their work, right? And usually it's because their prices are already low, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Discounting already low prices is really painful. But then I think some therapists feel like, man, this person paid once and then I have to do all these other sessions for free and I don't get paid for a long time. Can you help us with the mindset around that?
Yeah. I don't understand that mindset, honestly, because you could be. I see a lot of therapists doing setting that money aside, and so each time that person comes in, then they pay them from that balance. Um, but you're just getting a lump sum of that payment, and don't frivolously spend it. Spend it on the things that you normally would spend it on if you were getting it at that time.
Right. Exactly. So it's really about money management to
Yes.
make those packages feel good throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
But you still have some single sessions coming in, right?
Yeah. 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 I have a good mixture of packages and single sessions because not everybody's going to buy a package, and I don't offer it to everybody. I base it off of their energy. So if I feel like they need the package, then I'm going to offer it.
Right. And also some of your clients occasionally are tourists, right?
Yeah.
Probably more locals, but like you have the occasional tourist because it's Vegas.
Yeah. 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 I've got sprinkles of them. Most of my clients are locals, but I do get little sprinkles of people coming to visit.
um, Charla Gray wants to know how long is the accelerator program? It's 6 months. We did an extra month though. We just did an extra month.
Yeah.
Brittany to me, I I just felt like doing one. When you do a program with me, like you're in with me. You're my people now, and I try to go above and beyond for all of my coaching clients. So I try and be generous with my time, and it worked. We got to 10K on that seventh month,
Yep.
but normally the program is 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to get it done in six. Do you guys have any other questions for Brittany or the program? Uh, yeah, I mean, are there any other hidden secrets of how you got to 8 to 10K?
I think just having confidence in my work. One thing I did notice um, is I would discount my rates if they booked more time. So if they did 90 minutes or 2 hours, I was discounting it. And when I stopped doing that and I priced it based off of my time, I'm not discounting my time. I was getting so many more people booking, and it blew my mind. I was like, what do you, you could have gotten it for cheaper and now it's more expensive and now you're booking the session. And that was with my regular clients as well, not just new clients. So feeling confident in your rates, if you're not feeling good about how much you're getting paid, you need to raise your rates. I think that's the biggest thing is how much you're charging people and feeling that you're worth that.
Yeah,
And having really good energy. I have everybody rebooking because they love my energy. They love that I'm educating them too while I'm working on them.
right. We talked a lot about value, the value that you're bringing.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is your session, but you are really good at education.
Yeah.
And you've even gotten some reviews from people saying that they like that you're like a wellness advocate,
Yeah.
that your sessions are about health.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not doing it for the looks. I'm doing it because it's going to make them feel, obviously, the visuals are awesome. I love that. But I'm doing it for wellness. And so that's the clientele that I'm bringing in is people doing it for wellness, not for aesthetics. And then everybody loves that I'm educating them as well. It's not just putting my hands in and like, okay, bye.
Yeah, because our clients didn't go to massage school. They don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like help them understand what we're doing. Well, it helps actually make what you're doing more credible and valuable, but it helps them understand the value better. So they're like more sold on the work,
Yeah.
can intellectually understand what's happening, not just feel it, but they need to feel it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I like they like that they're feeling the difference. They're feeling better, but then I'm also telling them why I'm doing something, um, and what it's doing for their body. So the education part is really big.
I agree with that. Okay, so was there anything missing for you in the accelerator program?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. This was perfect. This is exactly what I needed. I had talked to another potential coach before finding you. Yeah. And but she wasn't in the massage field, so I was kind of like, I don't know. And then I started following you and I was like, she's been in this forever. Like, this is who I need.
I I agree. Like I always say nobody knows what it's like to be a massage therapist except a massage therapist.
Yeah.
It is a very, very unique profession. And I don't know, of course I would say this, but I have my opinions. Generic business coaches, they can help, with some basics, but they just don't know massage therapists, how massage therapists think, how they work, the nuance of working with clients, touching their bodies. It's all very specific. It's a specific niche.
Yeah.
So I can think back to all these experiences that I've been through as a massage therapist that are moments that I can relate to my coaching clients because I've been in your shoes,
Yep.
already done this before multiple times. So Amanda wants to know, is this also a program where I can help a spa with multiple therapists? So I've had a multi-therapist practice. It was a small staff of like two or three practitioners. And so I'm comfortable with coaching a small staff because actually what I'm doing with multiple therapist owners is helping them mentor their massage therapists because I know how to mentor massage therapists. And they have to mentor massage therapists and be in charge and lead and help them set goals and help them reach their goals. So it's kind of more me helping someone to mentor. And that is actually something that you're kind of considering in the future, possibly, right, Brittany?
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Um,
I for sure I want to hire at least one person once I get there.
yeah, you wanna be really fully booked out and solid and ready for that. So
Yes.
I agree. Don't want to skip the step of like maxing yourself out and feeling like 8 to 10K a month is in the bag no matter what. You got that down. Um, okay. So, all right, if you guys have questions, can you DM me? Yes. You can reach out to me multiple ways. You can message me on Facebook. You can email me at melinda@melindalou.com. Those are probably the best ways. Um, I want to do a mobile business to start by doing body work sessions similar to Thai stretching. I have worked with mobile therapists. And actually, I'm a mobile therapist right now. I have worked in so many different offices over the years, and I've also done mobile. Um, Mobile is hard work. Do you miss mobile, Brittany?
Not at all. Not at all. There's some clients that I've known for years that I'll do mobile if they ask for it. But I don't like carrying the heavy table or my supplies. Like I'm good. I like my office.
It's definitely more time efficient, that's for sure. For
Yeah.
mobile, we have to charge a lot to schlep our things and
Yeah.
drive. So yes, for sure. When I moved into an office space, you back to back, line them up. You can do your 10 to 4 work schedule if you want, and have a lot more personal time because it's just more time efficient. But mobile can be done in a very lucrative way for sure. And that's probably what I would suggest is, you know, do it in a high end way because otherwise it's exhausting and you're not making that much.
Hmm.
and it's just a better quality of life in office for time. But like I said, there's some therapists that I have coached that have like worked with celebrities, and we're charging a pretty decent price for mobile. um, okay, well, thank you, Brittany, for coming on and sharing your inspiring story.
Of
Do
course.
you feel like um, other therapists out in the world could do this too?
Absolutely. It's so attainable. And even if like someone has been doing this for many, many years, they've had their own spot, you can help them grow so much more. Because even ideas that I had that I wasn't sure about, like you helped me realize like, oh no, that is a good idea. And then here we can grow on that. So yeah, this is definitely everyone should do this. Even if they're established, not established, everyone should be doing this.
Because there's always a next level of growth.
Yeah, always, always. We're always growing.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, thank you guys all for joining, and I will see you guys on the internet.
Bye.
Bye, Brittany. So hopefully you have a great understanding of what the LMT Accelerator Program is all about. It's all about fast tracking your next level of success, no matter where you're at in your massage career journey. For the month of April, I'm offering $1,200 off the program, which is an insane deal. I rarely ever offer discounts because obviously the program is worth it. Massage therapists get their investment back. They reach their next level of success, and so it's already well worth the price at full price. But I have obviously some openings since people have finished their programs. And so for the month of April, I am offering 1,200 off. If you'd like to go for it, all you have to do is apply by messaging me, and I'll send you the application. If you've already filled out the questionnaire, which is the massage success review, and maybe we've already had a discussion over the phone and you're ready to go, then again, just message me, either email me or DM me and let me know that you'd like to grab a spot for the LMT Accelerator. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Otherwise, I'll see you in the program.